Should we tell him?
I don't know. I'm kind of scared.
The camera's on.
I'm scared.
Well, the camera's here. We have to say it. Anything for our
Alright,
audience.
guys, we're doing it. Our 5 weaknesses as actors. We're revealing them here for you for the first time ever.
I don't like to tell my feelings. I want to be mysterious.
Yeah, so you guys are getting a rare opportunity here to see us completely naked.
F.
The first of our weaknesses that we're exposing tonight, emotional vulnerability as an actor. That's being able to access the deepest emotional truth about your character through the vessel of yourself. And if you're not good at doing that in real life, it does tend to hinder you when you're acting. And I'm not terribly good at expressing my emotions or even really taking the time to know what my emotions are. Like, often the times when there's like a situation erupting, I kind of just shut down or try to ignore it or walk away from it. I don't address it head on. And that leads to a weakness, at least in my case, to access emotional vulnerability as an actor.
Yeah, I think that's generally a problem with dudes in general, because in real life we have to force down all these feelings we have.
Just push it right down. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's a good spot.
And then someday our feelings will burst up and cause an issue.
Oh, right into your face, and you gotta.
Yeah, and we'll be irreparably damaged at some point, because that's the Bill Burr says that's the reason why men have shorter lifespans, because
it's not because we're unhealthy eating. It's
because we don't ever confront our emotions,
and they eventually stab us in the back.
Once I started acting in general, because I was a big sports guy, once I started acting, I started crying more than I ever did in my life. And I was also going through a lot more stressful times at that moment in my life. So I've kind of been able to get better at it, but I mean, it's still tough, especially as a dude. I mean,
it's not even just crying, it's having those big outbursts, like the DiCaprio freak out.
Oh yeah.
Being able to access that, you have to be able to confront anger within yourself.
And it's also commitment and willing to look stupid.
Oh, dude, we're fine with that.
I mean, we've looked stupid in improv so much it doesn't matter, but
I couldn't care less about how I looked.
I can confirm that. He does not care, because he looks stupid all the time.
Yeah, look at my outfit.
He's wearing a nice sweater, and then he's got Adidas sweatpants on.
And some Nikes.
And this isn't like a not normal outfit for him. This is what he wears out.
I'll go to a club like this. I don't care.
Our weakness number 2, and this was my weakness that I brought up, is the social aspect of acting. So not everything that you have to worry about as an actor is on the screen.
It's about your life. What do you like as a person? Are you going to be able to relate, or even invent the relationship in your character's world if you don't ever socialize, if you don't ever go out, if you're like literally not comfortable going out and being social?
The reason I bring it up is, so as actors you're supposed to go out to mixers, and you're supposed to go out and meet new people and stuff like that, and go to these parties. Well, I'm not good at that. I'm the guy that sits in a corner, and I have some social anxiety that I deal with in those things, in those situations. But I just need to be better. I can't use that as a crutch. I gotta get over that, and go out and talk to people when I'm not comfortable to, and that's why I have an issue with it.
I have the same thing though, where I just don't.
I think a lot of people do, but you can't. That's one of the biggest things you need to get over. I'm really good at talking to somebody one-on-one. That's what I'm great at. That's what I'm best at. But it's definitely, I get jealous when I see other people that can just like go up and talk to anybody. Well, I'm not good at that yet.
Point number 3, auditioning and monologue preparation. This is for if you're doing for commercial work or for film submissions where you're just self-taping at home, so that kind of audition, or if you're doing stage auditions where you're basically preparing 2 contrasting monologues. To me, those are really difficult for me to do. I don't know why. I can cold read like a champ. Then that's where you just walk in and they hand you the sides when you get there. I, for whatever reason, my anxiety shoots up through the roof, and I don't know, I just invent an interesting way of doing the sides. When it's a cold read, but when I'm preparing a monologue or I'm doing a self-tape at home for a film submission, I don't know what it is. My creativity goes out the window, and I can barely get the lines out. I don't know why I can't do acting. It's ridiculous. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, for me, it's not about putting the work in. It's about once I get to the audition itself, and I'm standing there in front of this director that I know of, and I've been hyping myself up about this audition, and I just go there. I start like shaking, but that's because of me. So the best thing for me is to not think about the audition as much as possible. But yeah, I definitely have issues with that as well.
It's a scary thing to do.
Yeah, my last huge audition I did in person, I had to also sing, and I'm terrified of singing in front of people. At least I was. Yeah, so I was shaking like crazy. So, but we're improving on that, I think.
And I actually have an acting coach now helping me with audition prep because I want to get better at it, so I've just got a coach.
Well, that part is so important. I mean, that's, it's second, almost as important, if not more important, than the actual acting process itself once you're there.
Yeah.
Our fourth weakness that him and I have combined on is getting rid of myself in a character, having a wholly unique character that
You can't see yourself really in at all.
And I'm fully invested in that, so I'm not thinking about the lines. I am fully invested in that character.
Basically what has been sort of colloquially called method acting, but it's any acting approach that lands, people just call it method acting, but it's all approaches to acting try to get to that thing where you're out of your own head and you're just doing the character.
Yeah, I'm not too worried if I really achieve really feeling it. I don't care if I feel it. I mean, I would prefer that. I would prefer to feel like I'm the character, but I only care what reads. But I think, I only care what reads to an audience.
Yeah, and you've actually been very good about doing that on stage, but it's like in your films, you're kind of just yourself in all the things I've seen you do.
Well, yeah, I think it's mostly that I just haven't worked on in theater, you rehearse that every day for a month.
And if you have a good director, they're constantly pushing you to create a character. And on film, the director usually doesn't know anything about acting, so they don't invest any time in actually talking to the actor about acting.
Well, at least in the work we've done so far, the directors don't really know about acting. And then another thing is they just cast you because they think you're the character, usually on film, already.
Yeah.
They don't expect you to change that much because they're casting you for that. Well, I'm not satisfied with that. I need to be better in that regard.
It's not as interesting. You don't get as much enjoyment out of the work when you're just kind of doing yourself every time.
Enjoyment, and it's not as good of a performance if you're just yourself every time. So it's not going to be as compelling.
Number 5, being too judgmental of the script. A lot of times, I've done this, and almost every actor I know has done this. Well, they'll get sides for an audition because they read the synopsis and they were interested in the project. And they're reading it like, this is an awful script, this is dumb. Well, if you take, one page out of any script, it's going to sound stupid because you don't have any context for what's going on. So you just have to just know before you look at any sides that this isn't the full project, and it's probably not even finished being written yet. They're probably trying to cast it, and it hasn't reached its final draft yet. So just shut your brain off in that. Don't be so judgmental of the script that you're going to get. And just try to make the most of it anyways. Because even if you're in a bad movie, I've seen actors elevate it. Like Will Smith in Suicide Squad. Obviously, the script sucks. The movie is terrible, but Will Smith never fails to elevate the dialogue that he's given.
I think a key sign of seeing this, at least on set, being able to tell if somebody is judging the script is if they aren't word perfect on the script. Either that or they didn't put
the effort in to actually learn the lines.
That means they don't respect the script enough, or the director, one of the two, or B, they think they can write better.
I've seen people do that where they have learned the script, but they rewrote it anyways, and they're just pretending to because they don't like the script. Just Christoph Waltz says, I
was about to bring him up.
I say exactly what's written, because who am I to, rewrite the script? I'm just here to act it. Okay, I'm a vessel for the writer and director.
He says that he doesn't even change a comma. He honors every single period, every single comma, every single question mark. He honors.
And you know what? He's one of the best actors, so maybe that's good wisdom right there. Maybe you get a more interesting performance out of working harder to justify the way it's written.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I found a lot of success in Shakespeare trying to justify the way something is written. And not working hard to correct it, thinking it's wrong. Just justify it. We do that in improv, where someone gives you something really odd, it doesn't seem to fit to the moment, and the audience is like, what's that about? But then you justify it, okay?
And that's the best part of the show.
And that's the best part of the show. Now everyone's cracking up because you made something that seemed totally out of place, seemed totally in place, just from your reaction to it.
I want to end this by saying one thing that I think Gordon and I definitely think I am is one of our strong points is being self-aware. And I think that is the biggest thing that you need to learn as an actor is to be self-aware. Because if you're not self-aware, if you don't realize what you're good at.
If you don't realize that you're not perfect, you're not going to seek out an acting coach. You're not going to ask for help. You're not going to know, okay, I'm really good with this part of the script, but this section I need help with. You're not going to know to go ask about it and try to elevate your performance, with the people around you. You're going to, basically, oh no, I'm totally good.
You're not going to know what you're good at either and to focus on.
Yeah.
So as actors, we're supposed to know, like, it would be a waste of time for Gordon and I to try to go after musicals and try to audition for those because we're not good at that. We're good at other things, comedy, drama. That's what we're good at.
Comedy.
Specifically comedy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's our video. Please let us know what you think you're good and bad at, or what you think we're bad at. You guys haven't really seen us act. We're going to be posting some videos, but just give us some generalities of what you think we suck at.
Just make an assumption. Just assume.